What is a great film that you will never watch again? Dear Zachary, amazing documentary, but I could never watch it again. I had to scroll a while to find it, but yeah, this is the one. There are probably people in this thread who have never heard of it, so please understand that I'm 100% serious when I say this. Don't look up spoilers, and don't watch it until you're prepared to be really, really sad for a while. Pick a day when you don't have anything to do, and make sure that you have someone you can talk to after it's over. Dear Zachary is upsetting on a level that nothing else in this thread is. This. Exactly this. One of the most visceral and emotionally devastating things I've ever experienced in my life. The Irishman. It was good, but that shit didn't need to be 4 hours long. I'm not going to lie, my hubby and I only have about an hour a night after laying the baby down. We're on night 3 of The Irishman. Is it worth sticking it through? I'm losing interest. Could have done without it, but at the point you're on I'd finish it. But to me, it was very meh. Requiem for a Dream, of course. Yup. Except I have watched it multiple times because I keep introducing people to it like a fool. Or maybe I just want them to suffer too. I guess I'm a sick person. I love watching this and introducing it to others. Personally, I feel it's some of the best acting from everyone in that movie, despite it being totally fucked up. Hereditary. None of the horror got to me, but holy shit did the tension as the kid drives home and you're waiting for the mother to find what's in the car. I can't sit through that again. Avengers Endgame. I may watch it again someday, but nothing will ever compare to seeing that spectacle on the big screen. And nothing will ever compare to 10+ years of build-up and anticipation and backstory/character development. The marvel of Iron Man coming out when I was in grade 8, and Endgame coming out the year my kid is born. Wow, that's a crazy time span. When I saw Iron Man I was graduated and single. Didn't pay much attention to when my kid was born into the mix of movies, but grade 8 to kid. Manchester by the Sea. Clockwork Orange. That movie was amazing in its portrayal of classical conditioning, but I would never want to sit through it again. Not for a long time, at least. Clockwork Orange is a trip. One of my favorites, but yeah, I don't see myself watching it again in a long time. It's pretty draining. The Lighthouse, great movie, but it really fucked me up for a couple of days. The scenes in there were stuck in my head and it disturbed me on a psychological level. My family, who are not in any way film buffs or into artsy movies, my dad liked things like James Bond movies, which are great, but not exactly high cinema, and bro likes Marvel movies, sat down to watch this at Christmas. I thought they would hate it. And they kinda did. More like they didn't really get it. It got late and movie was turned off after 40 minutes, but then, a couple days later, multiple family members mentioned putting it on again. It was like it got into your head and they needed to see how it ended. That was a real adventure. Almost thought you were a novelty account for a minute there. 7, great movie, but I felt like I needed a shower afterwards. What's in the book? Hotel Rwanda. I don't remember the name, but it's about couple of kids who find an old treehouse in the woods. The little sister of the MC becomes a princess, the swing rope they used to get across the river snapped, causing his girl best friend to drown. That movie had a bittersweet ending. Bridge to Terabithia. Accidentally got this for my girls when they were younger, not knowing what it was about. Not sure they've forgiven me yet. Logan was beautiful and absolutely gutted me. I can't bring myself to watch it again despite loving it. Yes. What a sad ending to such an awesome and good guys win saga. This movie killed me. The Usual Suspects. Kaiser Soze only works once. I actually like the rewatchability of Usual Suspects. But it's also my top. What movie would you want to watch again for the first time? 1. Requiem for a Dream. 2. Grave of the Fireflies. 3. Bridge to Terabithia. 4. Life is Beautiful. 5. Schindler's List. I had happily forgotten about Bridge to Terabithia. Thanks, Nightcrawler. Great movie, made me feel slightly sick after seeing it though. The acting was just too unsettling. And somehow Jake Gyllenhaal wasn't nominated for an Oscar. Gyllenhaal has been screwed out of numerous awards. Dude is one of the top actors but rarely is recognized via award shows. Not that those are necessarily indicators of actual talent, but it's still quite irksome. The Green Mile. Can't put myself through that kind of sadness again. Poor Mr. Jingles. Midsummer. Like Get Out but in Sweden. Get an Outen. Boy in the Stripped Pajamas. Loved it but would never watch it again if possible. The emotional drain I felt after seeing that movie was too real. I hated that movie, not that it's a bad film, but it doesn't do the book justice. The whole point of the book is it's told from the perspective of a child who doesn't understand the war that's happening around him. He never outright says his dad is a Nazi. In fact, if you go into the book 100% blind, it can take a while to realize that it takes place in World War II. What's the opening scene of the movie? Nazi flags. That's the tough part of making a book into a film. In this case, the whole point is lost because you can't just avoid showing Nazi imagery in a visual medium. Atonement. It's like every terrible thing that could happen wrapped up in one depressing movie that leaves you feeling like justice is a bad joke. I was furious at the end of that. I wanted someone to shoot that bitch. Graves of the Firefly. That shit was sad. Me too. What gets me is that the writer was a child during World War II, and in real life he was one of the well-fed cousins, and his cousin, a little girl, actually starved to death. I think he was rewriting history with the movie, and writing himself into the movie as the brother and protector, to deal with his guilt. Kind of like Atonement but real. It was his little sister that died. I never heard that he actually had enough to eat. I don't think that's true. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It's so beautiful but so real that it's heartbreaking. My friend showed me that movie after I experienced a heartbreak up. It actually helped me understand what I was feeling. That movie feels sad but has this beautiful and interesting message. I tend to watch it every few years. Greater than I tend to watch it every few years. I watch it every time I get my heart broken. So yeah, about that often. Hachi. Nothing compares. That movie made me swear off animal movies. I just can't handle them anymore. Room. Now that's a difficult watch. Well, now I'm curious. Worth a watch, Pan's Labyrinth. That movie gutted me. Especially when the captain smashes that person's face inward with the butt of a glass bottle, and they straight up show the gory details. I got super squeamish. When I watch this movie I have to close my eyes at this bit. I love horror movies and whatever, but because I wasn't expecting that kind of thing in Pan's Labyrinth, it makes me so uncomfortable. Uncut Gems. Once is enough. Yeah. I feel the same way. I'm not sure why, but I just don't want to sit through that energy again. The whole movie is stressful AF with all the constant shouting lol. Schindler's List. Was just about to post this one. My high school English teacher showed this in class towards the end of the year, and I felt so overwhelmed at times. I get the idea that my teacher wanted us to appreciate the true horror and brutality of the Holocaust, but damn. I can't get some images out of my head. I think it's a movie everyone should have to watch. Joker Joaquin Phoenix did a fantastic job, but that movie is pretty heavy. A well-made movie, but I was mildly uncomfortable the entire time. That's what I loved so much about it. Perks of Being a Wallflower. It hits home in too many ways for me, I think. I'd like to think that the movie ended happily after all the crap. That he got the help and love he needed to become whole again. But it hit home hard. I remember after I saw American History X, I said wow, that was amazing and I never want to see it again. Although now it's been so long I barely remember it. Except for the curb stomping. You never forget the curb stomping. No one forgets the curb stomping. Irreversible https://www.imdb.com/title/tt029067 3/ Hilarious how some people name stuff like Logan or even Avengers Endgame, and then yeah well a guy comes around and drops the bomb with irreversible. Seriously Toe, this easily wins the thread.